Are you ready for NXT Takeover Wargames? What is going on? It's your boy, Tommy on the spot. Thanks so much for joining me here today on the Watchalong Wrestling Podcast YouTube channel. Pretty cool deal today, guys. On our Twitter, at WatchWrestlePod, we put up a poll earlier today. You guys could have voted on that poll if you follow us over on at WatchWrestlePod, and you would be able to have voted on which War Games match you wanted me to rewatch this evening. Your choices were Wrestle War 1991, Wrestle War 1992, Fall Brawl 1996, or NXT Takeover War Games Houston from last year. Those were your four choices, and as voted on by the fans. And a landslide victory, NXT Takeover War Games won the poll. And so because of your votes, I'm about to rewatch last year's NXT Takeover War Games match. Not going to do the whole show, but we're going to do the match. So with that being said, hopefully you guys want to join me. If you do, make sure you guys get that show queued up right now to 1 hour and 40 minutes into the show. What I'm looking at right now on the screen is a picture of the actual War Games cage with the little ring post there. Make sure you guys have that sunk, pretty much sunk right over there, over to NXT Takeover War Games 2017, 1 hour and 40 minutes in. If you guys like what you're seeing, please do hit that subscribe button. It really does help quite a bit. We really do appreciate it. Also, leave a like or a comment. And the live chat is also now open. Some folks are making their way over into checking us out here. You can join in on the live chat tonight. Let us know what you remember about NXT Takeover War Games. Remember, this is the show. We're not going to watch these matches, but this is the show that had the great Velveteen Dream versus Aleister Black match. This is the show where Andrade Cien Almas defeated Drew McIntyre to become the brand new NXT champion. It was all a year ago. That was only 1 year ago. So much has changed. Andrade and Drew, now big parts of the SmackDown Live and Raw rosters. And Velveteen Dream tomorrow going for the NXT championship against Tommaso Ciampa. Not tomorrow night, but on Saturday. And that's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm excited to recheck this out here, guys. I'm really pumped up about it. I think that it could be really cool. And so let's check it out. Let's see what we got going on here. So let me just turn open the little gimmick here. And hopefully you guys, by the way, were able to get WrestleMania tickets earlier today. Tickets went on sale for WrestleMania 35, man, that's craziness. WrestleMania 35 live at MetLife Stadium. Tickets went on sale, pre-sale tickets. Hopefully you were able to get them. I got tickets for that show, and I'm excited to attend, but I will still be attending the WrestleMania on sale party tomorrow night. Live at MetLife Stadium. We'll have full coverage of that, have some video hopefully from there, and be able to check everything out. So that will be a lot of fun. But let's get into it now. We're all talking about NXT Takeover War Games. Everyone's excited about it. Tonight was the final NXT television episode before War Games. So let's get into it now. Again, make sure you are sunk up to 1 hour and 40 minutes into the show. We're going to get right to the matches. The first time in which, instead of doing a full show, we're going to just do one particular match. And this might be the first of many times that we do this here. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this. If you do, let me know. If you prefer me to only do one match instead of a full show, that could be something we could work with in the future, specifically with Royal Rumble right around the corner. So that is what we're doing. Watchalong Wrestling Podcast, rewatching NXT Takeover War Games Houston in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you guys probably can't hear too much of the background there. It's a little low. But right now what I'm seeing is Dustin Rhodes super pumped up. Arn Anderson even more pumped up. Arn showing off the four horsemen four right there. Dustin Rhodes really trying to amp up the crowd. The iconic welcome to War Games. And that's where we're at right now. And I will say, I thought I remember this show vividly because similar to this year's show, my wife, one of our good friends' birthdays, my wife's good friend's birthday, and then I tag along because, you know, the fellas are invited and included. They come out and she has her birthday party every year I guess, on the day of NXT Takeover Survivor Series weekend. She usually has it on that Saturday. So we watched the first match, Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream, which was incredible. Then we had to head out for the evening. And so because of that, we did not get a chance to even see the rest of the show until the next day. So it was a long day for me the next day. And it'll be similar to this year. This year, hopefully we'll be able to see what we can of the show. More likely, though, we'll be going off and doing our thing. I love that. Let the War Games begin. It's crazy to think this was only 1 year ago. And now in this match, you have the current Raw Tag Team Champions, AOP. You have the complete Undisputed Era. Obviously, Roderick Strong was not in the Undisputed Era yet. He was on the team with AOP. And you have Sanity. And Sanity is now on the SmackDown Live roster as well. So it's interesting to see. Maybe we'll be able to watch this year's NXT TakeOver Wargames and see kind of where we're at with that next year and be able to kind of compare and contrast, see where everyone's at 1 year later. Totally forgot Sanity was the tag champs going into this match. Oh, man, it's a shame they put Killian Dane in that singlet. I actually think kind of that, him being shirtless, kind of that hairy type of gimmick adds to his, character there. So if I'm not mistaken, the way they did this, and it's been a while. This is my first time going back and watching this match since watching it the first time. But if I'm not mistaken, what they did was they started out with, one guy from each team. And then what was it? Every 5 minutes, I think, another guy from each team entered? Or was it just one team at a time? It was a little bit different. I will say Triple H has been trying to – he's obviously a huge fan of NWA. He kind of grew up, idolizing Ric Flair and very clear about that. So for him, bringing War Games back is something I feel like he's been all about for quite some time. And glad he was able to do it with NXT. Let me grab my gotta grab this little coffee here. Yes, I know it's 10 p.m. East Coast, but when you're a hanging and banger like myself, it's never too late for some coffee. I don't know if you guys heard Triple H on the NXT conference call today. He was talking about this upcoming NXT War Games, and you can just tell how excited he is about it. Seems like he was a little more pumped up that the show is now going to have kind of that old school War Games feel to it, in that it's only 2 teams. Made a mention of the fact that there's only 1 team there. Oh, it's gonna be so weird to not see Kyle O'Reilly, with the the old air guitar there. I'm really glad they didn't give up on Bobby Fish. Let me say that. I think Bobby Fish was great. He's great in the role. Obviously, bringing over Red Dragon together, keeping them together. I love that. I love when guys are on the indies and they're brought up together. Like, I think that's really cool. I always like to think that was because maybe they were going to sign one of the 2, and then the other one was like, hell no, you're signing one of us, you got to sign both of us, and that's how that came through. At least that's what I'd like to think. There's Adam Cole, baby, and love the Undisputed Era. They've become one of my favorite acts. They're going to be in the War Games match this upcoming Saturday night against the team of Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders. And I wouldn't be shocked to see them come up with another dub. Now, this is not our NXT preview show by any stretch. Probably be doing that Saturday morning, maybe Friday night. We'll get there. We'll get there. The week is still young here on the Watchalong Wrestling Podcast YouTube channel. Whole bunch more content coming along. Baby. Amazing how he just totally takes over an entire crowd there. And I'll tell you right now, if you go to a live show and you see a bunch of wrestling fans somewhere and you can find your way in and sneak in there and sneak a little Adam Cole, the entire crowd, 9 times out of 10, will turn around and give you a baby. Or maybe you'll see someone rocking with a NXT t-shirt even in your everyday life, and you can give them a little Adam Cole and maybe they'll respond baby as well. Of course, doing this when nobody's wearing a wrestling shirt in regular life, you might just say Adam Cole and people will either ignore you or think there's something wrong with you. So Doesn't work all the time. You know, I like Drake Younger. I think he's good, but it's sad to see Paul Ellering there. He was such an integral part of this team. Him being a part of AOP right off the bat immediately added, in my opinion, legitimacy to the team because everyone remembers Paul Ellering with Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. So him being out there, I did not remember Roddy also rocking the Authors of Pain gear. That's pretty cool. Especially because, I mean, I love Roddy Strong, and I think he's great in Undisputed Era and a great technician in the ring, but probably no one who comes across less intimidating than Roderick Strong. So it's funny to see him doing it. It's like when Kurt Angle came up behind Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose as the Kurt Angle Shield member, and he jumped up behind him while the two were in the crowd. He did the whole, and he looked just like about as goofy as can be. God bless him. There actually is a figure that was released of that angle. But look at Roderick, man, doing his thing. Was this might have been, I'm not sure, but this might have been Moro's first NXT event calling it live. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. I feel like it might have been around here, though. Always makes sense. They start with Eric Young. They start with Roderick Strong. They start with Adam Cole, baby, because those guys, you know, they can go the most. So being able to do it. I think how this worked was maybe the entire team came through. You can tell we're on a shoestring budget here. Literally, this idea was something that I figured out. I figured, why not? You know, here we are, we're building up, and we're doing all the prep for Survivor Series 2018. We just rewatched, and you can check it out, take a look in the archives, Survivor Series 1996 and Survivor Series 2002. So why not do a little hype for NXT Wargames? I was all prepared. I was like, I know. People are going to be all about Sting's Squadron. People are going to be all about the Four Horsemen. I'm going to go back and do my oldest rewatch ever on the Watchalong Wrestling podcast, and didn't happen. People were having none of the good old days. It's probably just I guess a testament to the clientele on the Twitter. Us millennial men, I guess, as Rhonda would call us, sticking together. Yeah, so it's every 5 minutes another team entered the ring. And of course, if I'm not mistaken, I'm almost positive this was Undisputed Era, which makes sense. You always want the heels to get the upper hand. That's the whole deal with War Games, right? Team comes in, and what I love is so one thing I like and yet at the same time sort of dislike when it comes to War Games was the match doesn't really start till everyone enters the ring, right? So automatically, you know, you got 15 minutes before anything is really going to happen in the ring, unless you're just like super into the action there. It's all about the end of these War Game matches. It's building the end, continuing the story until everyone enters the ring, and when everyone enters the ring, shit goes down, right? So that's the whole point of War Games. I remember a bunch of folks were a little bummed out about when this first started that there was no cover on the ring, no roof, so to speak, on the cages, because in the old War Games match, they did have those. Triple H actually addressed this today on the conference call and basically said it's just limiting for the guys in the ring, and it makes sense. I mean, the Hell in a Cell isn't like a cage with a roof on top. The Hell in a Cell is the entire ring, and the outside is covered by the cage, and then that goes from there and builds up to the roof, right? That's around the entire arena. So guys can still go off the top rope. Guys can still go on the outside of the ring, and it's kind of cool. With the roof right there, though, you'd kind of be seeing like your indie wrestling gymnasium type stuff off the ropes. Like if you ever go off the apron, like if you ever go to an independent wrestling, double crotch chopper on the top rope, Roderick and Eric Young. Man, let's hope they're rocking some cups there. That could be some bad stuff in their future. No little Roddies and Eric Youngs walking around for a little while. But yeah, if you ever go to an independent wrestling show and like it's in a small gymnasium or like a bingo hall, I guess, or a bar, and the roof is like here, like right here. So every time I go up to do it, move off the top rope, I sometimes will bang my head into the ceiling, but most of the time I'm kind of crouched down and I'm doing a senton off the top, and I've got to kind of roll and hope for the best. And sometimes the guy goes up too high and his legs smash against the ceiling. That's kind of like how War Games was with a lot of those high-flying guys. So I'm glad that they did away with the rope, the roof, and some of the big spots in this match were including that roof. It was always just really cool to see the 2 rings. I think that's just awesome. I always like something a little different, whether it be, obviously they're not going to bring back the Road Wild event, right? They're not going to do an event out in NXT Sturgis with the ring outside of the motorcycle rally. But I thought that was cool. I like that WCW did things like that. Spring Break with the ring out on the beach, or 3 rings, right, for the World War III. So I always like that they tried to do that, and it's cool that they brought the 2 rings back. Bruce Pritchard had mentioned that on the Survivor Series 2002 episode on his show, Something to Wrestle With, which you can listen to over on somethingtowrestlewith.com. Bruce Pritchard had said the reason why they've never done more than 1 ring is because Vince McMahon always just thought it eliminated too many front row seats, which makes sense to a certain degree. But for me personally, I always liked seeing the 2 rings out there for the matches that didn't include War Games, where you'd see a match take place and it primarily would be in 1 ring, but maybe at one point somebody would flip over and go to that 2nd ring and it'd be like, oh shit, they're going between the rings there. So I always appreciated that. And it's cool they were able to bring this back. Should do a thing on what types of matches that are no longer a part of WWE from other federations would you like to see come back? I would just like to see the rings that take place in different places brought back. Like, for example, NXT does the I think the Loud Wire Festival or Get Loud Festival. I'm not sure where it's located, but they do it outside, and they're doing matches literally right outside of the whole deal. And so I always felt that would be cool to see. They're at that music festival, and they're outside, and I always thought that would be really cool. They used to do some of the matches for the Dusty tournament back then. 2-1. Let's see if I'm correct here. Is it Undisputed Era? It is, of course. I mean, booking 101. It is how it is. I assume tomorrow they're going to do 4-on-4, and they're going to start with 2 guys in the ring, and then somebody will get the advantage. And I firmly expect it to be the Undisputed Era. I keep saying tomorrow. I want this weekend to come. Can you tell I'm done with the week of work? I've already said tomorrow a whole bunch of times. It's been a crazy week. It's been one of the weirder weeks of wrestling, if you consider. Monday night, you had the great Raw ending. Becky Lynch ends up, total badass there. Everyone's so excited. Tuesday during the day, everyone's bummed as all hell when it breaks that Becky Lynch is off of the Survivor Series show. We're not getting Ronda and Becky. Then last night on SmackDown, Daniel Bryan turns heel, wins the title. This morning, WrestleMania tickets get on sale. So if you were like me, you were in that waiting room for an hour and a half, and then you got over there and it said you had 2,000 plus people still ahead of you, and you waited it out, you fought the good fight, and you got your WrestleMania tickets. Undisputed Era has been in the ring maybe a solid minute, and it already says it's almost down to 2 minutes. So a little bit of that Titan time, as Bruce Pritchard would say, where sometimes they'd speed it up in order to kind of get to the point. Oof. Roddy getting a big suplex there. You wonder what the future will hold for the Undisputed Era. I think they're all fantastic. I hope that they're all brought up as a unit on the Raw, with their goal being to help Adam Cole to win singles gold. That should be their goal. I hope that they are able to achieve that goal. But Triple H mentioned today that NXT at this point is a 3rd brand. There's no guarantee that if you get to NXT that at some point you're going to get to Raw or SmackDown. But maybe it's okay if you're an NXT talent for the duration of your run. Maybe you stay down in NXT. You're a full-time NXT talent. And so who knows? Maybe that'll be where they end up staying. I think they're definitely a staple of that NXT roster, which is probably the most stacked it's been for years now. I mean, they're right now they're involved in some of the bigger matches. It seems like every week on the show, having great matches with Ricochet, having great matches with Pete Dunne. It doesn't matter. Go up and down that card. They have nonstop great matches. So it's interesting to see where the Undisputed Era goes from here. I, for one, am pumped to see what happens with them. But then, yeah, if you're in the New York area, tomorrow night you got the big kickoff party, the on-sale party for WrestleMania tickets. So you can check that out. That'll be fun. At MetLife Stadium. I wonder where the ring will be set up. I wonder if it's going to be like we're able to get down on the field, which as a Jet fan, long-suffering, I'd be excited about that, and I'd be ready to go with that. Let's see who comes out next. Oh, Authors of Pain. Seemed weird there. It seemed like for a second Sanity was coming in, but instead it's the Authors of Pain. They come in like total badasses. I like them as baby faces. Oh! Stiff as all hell. Smashing the hell out of, I guess that's Kyle O'Reilly there. Shit. Stiff as all hell. Oh, smashing and dashing away there. Oh.
Chance to talk to the enforcer on it, and as you said, it's been in more War-games matches than arguably anybody else.
Man, smashing and dashing each guy into the cage. Total badasses.
Also told me, he said this match is all about pacing
Badass stuff. Launching Adam Cole over the top into the next ring. Eric Young, rather. They're throwing everyone all over the place. AOP just clearing house. That's how you build up two big monsters there. Husbandry duties. I do apologize there. Hanging the Undisputed Era from the infamous Tree of Woe. Oh my gosh. Double fireman carry. Bangers into the rope there. Felt a little bit like it would have been cool if AOP had already a third member there. But, I mean, Roddy was feuding with Adam Cole, so I guess it worked. But it felt like a trio would have been great. I would have loved to have seen British Strong Style. They really hadn't been established there, but they'd have been great in this match. Could have done some really fun stuff with them. I thought all of British Strong Style was actually going to be in this match on Saturday originally. I thought it was going to be British Strong Style and the War Raiders against Undisputed Era, and then they could have recruited somebody in there. But the way they set it up is actually quite cool. Though I'm a mark for the rest of the Trent Seven and Tyler Bates, so it would have been cool to see them in there. All right, now shit's picking up. Now everyone's getting in the ring. Look at Sanity running down there, man. Glad that they got a spot on the SmackDown team. Hopefully, there's still stuff they could do with them. They've treated them just like they were non-existent for a good while. I remember he pulls out the nightstick out of his pants there, and I remember thinking that he had some sort of switchblade or something. Look at Alexander Wolf, total madman. It almost feels like when they got up to SmackDown, it was like they didn't realize that Killian Dane was so like a chubby guy. And so they put him in the singlet and then just got rid of him. And they haven't really been used. So hopefully they'll be able to showcase themselves on Sunday at Survivor Series, and they'll be able to kind of revive what they have, because I do think they have something pretty special in Sanity, and there's a lot they can do with them. Killian Dane bringing out the weapons there, the weaponry, if you will. The chain, the devastating garbage pail, the steel chair, the kendo sticks. And this is what War Games is all about. This is the type of stuff that is what New Age War Games should be, right? I mean, most of the War Games matches, where they end in like 2000-ish in WCW. And then I know there was one that Ring of Honor and CZW did. King, they kind of did something similar in TNA. It's like Team Jarrett against Team Christian Cage, I want to say. Look at the crap, man. You've seen 5,000 table bumps. He pulls out that table, and the crowd is losing their minds over it. Huge yes chants. Yes chants weren't really even a thing last year in November. No one thought Daniel Bryan would be coming back. He was still on SmackDown's general manager, but still. A lot of trios these days in WWE now, because you have Sanity up there. They're still a unit. Oh, shit. Whoa! So Kyle O'Reilly just goes for to hit. Oh! Hit Alexander with the chair. Misses. Smashes the chair on the rope, and then smashes himself in the head. Gets turned right into a belly-to-back suplex. Really great stuff. See, look how badass Killian Dane looks. Who cares if he's a little chubby? That's what makes him who he is. He looks strange if he was fit. Love Killian Dane. Looking forward to the Sanity figures that are coming out soon. The Mattel Elites. Undisputed Era just got their first 3-pack Elite figures. Anyone pick those up out there? Those have been a big hot item. I think there's a... It's just Killian Dane ate the key. Not sure what he's thinking. Yeah, I don't know if you hear Morrow losing his mind over there. Actually, Akam and Razor just got their first Elites as well. They do a really good job with the Elites. I will say. I'm obviously a huge fan. Oh. Send the big guy in there for a big avalanche splash. Always looks good. Look at that. Killian Dane gets some. Big drop kick into the corner on, I think it was Akam, and at the same time a backsplash on the comeback of that onto Razor. Love that. That's cool. That's some good stuff right there. Oh! Look at Killian Dane. Love the big. You know, that's such a cool move. Everyone protected him like a son of a bitch. I'm sure it felt like, you know, he probably felt light as a feather coming off the top there. The crowd's holy shitting. The big man fly. I'm a huge fan, by the way, of the NXT commentary team. Nigel's my guy. I was at his last match in Ring of Honor against Daniel Bryan when he signed to WWE and unfortunately didn't work out. Glad he got a shot, though. Morrow I love, and I actually think Percy's pretty good, too. Oh. Bobby Fish, man, so crisp in everything he does. Very underrated. This is the Killian Dane show, though, is it not? Michinoku driver with Adam Cole onto Bobby Fish. Ah, the excruciating couple-month period where everything was 1, 2, 3. Ah, I mean, it sounds cool. It's fun the first time you hear it. But if you're at a live show when that's going on, halfway through that show until the end, you're ready to cringe every time the ref goes down to make a pinfall because it is ridiculous. And I was at the Rumble when they're doing the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, sweet, 1. And I mean, it's too much. Too much. Look at this. Now Dane's got back suplex, fall away slam combo on 2 of the members of the Undisputed Era. And now the big showdown between in between rings. Two big brolic sumbitches in the middle of the ring just going at it. This is really Killian Dane's match, though. I mean, everything he's doing is just so good. Let's say, hey, you know, give some love to Razor, too. AOP really in NXT were built up as total monsters to the point that when they lost, it was like a huge deal. There was a while when them, Asuka, and let's see, I don't think that's it. No. Great power slam by Akam, though. You had AOP, you had Asuka, and I want to say you had Drew or Bobby Roode as your champion. Sick DDT by O'Reilly. So yeah, you had AOP, you had Asuka, you had Bobby Roode, and all of them were undefeated. I mean, that's wins and losses matter, folks. Like, they all meant a great deal, in my opinion. I actually always, I always misremembered this. I always thought War Games was on the middle of the show. So I'm in the middle of the, trying to find the middle of the show. I forgot that they had put Drew and Andrade on in the middle, and they put this on last. But I mean, it made sense, right? They should have. Look at the crowd chanting for a table, as if like they hadn't seen a table in years. Always nerve-wracking when you see oh my gosh, Kyle O'Reilly with that innovative offense there. Stiff kick right into the stiff forearm. Now he's got the chain. Kyle O'Reilly, that tattoo had to be brutal. My wife's got one of those, like right on the side here. She's got like a big, like, I have Oris type deal. And it was painful as shit to get done. And just seeing he's got like wrapped around his back and over his stomach there. It's got to be tough ass dude, I'll tell you that much. Oh! Morrow is just awesome. I know a lot of people hate on Morrow. Think he's over the top. He is. But it's what makes him who he is, right? Bobby Fish, great picture-perfect moonsault. This was 9 dudes who were thrilled to be in the main event of a show and were giving everything they got. Everyone left it all hang out there. And granted, I mean, a lot of these guys have been in main events in other promotions, but getting an NXT Takeover main event, like, they believe that everyone in NXT, like, you think about these 4 matches that are coming up on Sunday. You got Shayna and you got Kairi Sane in a 2 out of 3 falls. You've got the War Games match. You've got Velveteen Dream and Tommaso Ciampa. And then you've got Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano. Every one of those matches is going to be really good. They're all going to get a good amount of time. You got a 2-hour show for 4 matches, 2.5-hour show for 4 matches. They're all going to get a shit ton of time. And why not, at any moment, any of those 4 matches could be the best match on the card. They're always trying to top each other. And then the main roster's got to go the next night, which is always got to be tough. So freaking cool. Super Collider. You had each one, Akam Razor, each had Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly up for the big powerbomb. They're going to collide them together. And while they do, between rings, Killian Dane's in the center. He gets smashed right in between all of them. Good stuff. Killian Dane there is all, busted open too. Oh. Rizzo's got to be like, what, 350, maybe more? And Eric Young is walking around the ring with him on his shoulders to give him a Death Valley driver on Akam. Crowd could not have possibly, oh, jeez, that too sweet is too much. Crowd could not have possibly thought that was it. I mean, you've got the other guys right in the ring doing their thing. Clearly knew what was coming up. Oh, back cracker. Devastating from Strong. Oh. So I'm guessing Roddy, I already thought he was a part of Undisputed at this point. I thought Fish was already out. So I'm guessing Roddy joined. Was it at Takeover Philly? I was at that show. Might have been Takeover Philly. If you know, let me know in the comment section below. If you remember. I'm going to Google it anyway right after this. But if you know, let me know in the comment section below. Rocking the beanie, by the way. And the reason for that is because I've got the hardcore Jufro gimmick going on. I've had the beanie on all day, so I've got hardcore beanie hair, and it's a hot mess. A lot more aesthetically pleasing to have the beanie on than anything else. Oh. Cole perched up on the middle rope between the 2 rings, split-legged, and now Strong and Eric Young are battling over who's going to be able to suplex Cole in the ring. Now the other guys are getting involved. They're all climbing up to the top. And now AOP is going to double powerbomb everybody to the ring. And the only guy still standing is the original guy who was there in the first place, Adam Cole, setting up for a picture perfect. Look, that's awesome. Cole playing to the crowd. Crowd's super into it. Wow, that's good stuff. They didn't give us the Wile E. Coyote cam. That's the only thing I like about a good ladder match is they had that camera on top where the prize is or the belt is. It always looks really cool down in the ring. Oh. I appreciate Moro's reference there. He said you can be watching Table for 3 on the network, on the WWE Network. But it looks like AOP is setting up a table for one, or perhaps tables for one. This type of stuff that Morrow gets a little hate for, but I love the guy. I love the guy that, if you give him some kudo on Twitter, he's always quick to give you a pound or give you a thank you or retweet it. I've always appreciated that about Morrow's a good dude, man. And I always appreciated the shout out to Designer whenever anyone would go up for the Macho Man Randy Savage elbow drop, and he would say, going macho like Randy, like Designer. I'm hit, by the way. Still not. I know Designer. Let me know what you guys think about this particular format here. I love to watch a full show. It is a 3-hour podcast when we watch a full show. So, I mean, at times the hangover effect of how much. Oh my God! I do not remember that at all. Super German suplex off the top rope through 2 tables. Oh! Now Eric Young with a leaping neck breaker. This match is insane. This is a fucking great trick. Thank you to the folks that voted in that poll. I don't even see. I think I had tried to go in and change the name of one of the poll choices. Screwed everything up, and I think it. So I got rid of it early. Also, I noticed I started it too late. I should have started the poll yesterday and hung it over until today, but it is what it is. Nothing lamer. Someone gets busted open. The ref comes in with the non-latex gloves. I get they're doing it to be safe, and it's a good thing, but nothing kills a match more than the ref coming in with the gloves. And it's Drake. It's Drake of all people with the gloves. CZW original there. You know, you watch this match. This is probably the match that it was where it was brought up that Sanity should come to the main roster, because they're incredible in this match. All 3 of them. I always remember that Killian Dane had the kind of coming out party here, but Alexander's great too. That was a sick freaking belly to back suplex off the German suplex off the top rope through 2 tables. Come get some. That's some shit right there. Now you've got Cole way up there. Coast to coast. Vintage Shane McMahon from Killian Dane. Wow, I don't remember too much of this match. Did I ever see it? I feel like I did, but I'm remembering everything here. This is a damn good match. That's really, I mean, honestly, Killian Dane's coast to coast even look a little more crisp than Shane's. Shane always feels like he gets like kind of 3/4 of the ring there, and then whomever is there assists him to make sure it looks even better. Don't forget the Shane McMahon coast to coast, where Roman caught him for the spear and gave him a concussion. This is an iconic moment. This I definitely remember. Adam Cole perched up on top of the cage. Crowd doing Adam Cole baby with him. There are kids that I'm sure were at this show and felt the same way Mick Foley did when he went to go see Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Maybe I'm stretching a little, but that's where I'd like to think at least. I always appreciate that Roddy Strong was like doing all he could to battle with Undisputed, and then eventually was like, fuck it. I'll join him. I can't win. I've tried. It's over. I'm going to join him. I like that. An honest guy, Roderick Strong. Roderick Honest Strong. Crowd with a please don't die chant. Much better than the smart aleck please retire chant that some folks have gotten through the years. Wow. Superplex off the top of the cage onto everyone who was battling there in the middle of the ring. This is fantastic. Oh, what a freaking match. I'm ready for Saturday now. Go back and, whether you watch with my commentary or not, go back and watch this match. You know, the gloves add a certain element to it. I was thinking it was more the towel. I'll never forget. I think it was Takeover Dallas. It's Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, and one of them got busted open. They stopped, kind of tried to stitch it up and stop the blood. It adds a certain degree of authenticity to it, but at the same time, man, does that kill the momentum of a match. Drake having the gloves on isn't so bad. I'm not sure if this is the show, but they did a show. It might have been this one, where you could have just watched nothing but more of the entire show, or at least one of the matches where it was just him during commentary, and he's standing up and he's screaming and shouting during everything, and just does such a great job. That's what I was about. Nigel beat me to it. They tried to do the last chapter, which is their finisher, right on the middle of the rope, and Moro called it like a flying clothesline Russian leg sweep combination, and that is what it is. It's total elimination. I mean, not as cool looking as Total Elimination was back in ECW days, but cool nonetheless. So now he calls that Total Elimination, which is the Eliminator's finisher from ECW, and basically the exact same move, somewhat, that the Authors of Pain do as their finish. Beautiful. Absolutely beautifully crisp. Alexander had him up, and Eric Young came out of nowhere with a neck breaker there. Then Roderick goes and flips Alexander over. Alexander's face is super busted open. Wow, that's badass, man. Oh. It's like they had built up the Roderick against Undisputed Era so much that when it finally came down to Roddy and Adam Cole going one-on-one with each other, it was really like the crowd's super into it. They got excited about it. Oh! They got a couple headshots with the chairs in this match. Cole gets it. Undisputed wins. Chair to face. A little bit of a, I don't want to say a flat ending, but no matter how, considering how much went down in this match, it's crazy that these guys all got it done. Adam Cole always gets the, he's one of those heels that finds a way to get a win, and I think, he is definitely a cool boy heel, but at the same time, they get it done. That was fun, man. That was a good match. Solid. How much in time was that? Let me put on pause there for a split second. That was about 45 minutes all told so far. 50 total, and really good stuff. That was great. If you guys like what you saw, let me know in the comment section below. We could be on to something. This was kind of a last minute deal here, but maybe we're on to something with this, specifically watching one match as opposed to gathering around the table and watching a full pay-per-view. Because I'll be honest with you guys, was chatting with a buddy before about coming on and doing a WrestleMania 29 watch-along with me. And he said, dude, are we going to sit down and watch the show for 4 hours? I thought about it, and I thought, damn, that's a long time. I would need like 4 of these Evil Queen Disneyland original mugs if I was going to do a full 4-hour watch-along wrestling podcast. That might be much even for me. But if maybe we got together and we watched CM Punk versus The Undertaker from WrestleMania 29, which was probably your best match of the evening, followed very, very closely by Fandango's debut against Chris Jericho. But if we did that, well, it might make a little more sense. You can come in, you can have it queued up right to that spot. Might be, you know what? Might be onto something. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll do some shows and some matches as opposed to shows. Because, like, this Wargames show, we could have watched the whole show. It was fucking great. I mean, but that show we watched the other day, Survivor Series 1996, some play. It was 2 great matches on that show, but probably didn't need to necessarily watch the Furnace and LaFon match. Could have probably skipped it. But I personally do think that it's one of these deals where if you want to sit down and watch an entire show, you want to have that watch-along companion piece. I mean, you at least think so. Then again, maybe it's worth a match or two, and we can kind of shift in between. It's something definitely to think about. I'm glad I thought about this idea today. I was sitting there today and thinking about the fact that Wargames was coming on. I was like, shit, I'd love to watch a classic Wargames. Figured I'd throw up 4 classic Wargames, thinking no one would want to see rewatch last year's Wargames match. It only happened a year ago, not even a year ago, on November 18th, 2017. But shit, you guys made your voices loud and clear. I mean, almost all votes. It's like when I did the poll the other day. Who do you think has a better chance to win on Sunday, Becky Lynch or AJ Styles? Of course, neither of those guys have any chance to win. But at the time, we thought they were going for titles. They were going in the champion versus champion matches. I said, who do you think has a better chance to win? And it was like 97% of the vote was for Becky Lynch, and one guy picked AJ Styles. Wonder if it was AJ himself. That was fun, though, guys. I had a blast watching that match with you guys. I didn't remember how awesome that match was. Incredible stuff. Everyone involved. Totally badass. Coming out party for everybody. And got me ready for Saturday. I'm pumped now. So let me give you guys a little sketch as to what's going on the rest of the week here. Tomorrow night, I will be at, as I had mentioned earlier, I will be live at the, well, we won't be live. We're not going to broadcast live. It's kind of, I don't know about that. But we'll be filming some footage from the WrestleMania on-sale party. Could be bitter cold, but we'll be there braving the cold. Got one of these guys, right? Got a Bainski. So we'll be there. We'll be watching the, we'll be there for the on-sale party. Excited to see Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder reuniting for a tag team match. My boy, bro. Matt Riddle taking on Cassius Ohno. It's a dream match of sorts. That's your main event tomorrow night. And a lot of meet and greets going on. Sami Zayn, Paige, Mojo Rawley, who I'm a fan of. I'm hoping I get to meet him. Apollo Crews, Alicia Fox, I think. And the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, all on sale. But of course, if you did not get your pre-sale tickets today, you'll be able to get them if you go to the on-sale party, at least whatever's left. So if you didn't get your WrestleMania tickets, head to the on-sale party. We'll be there. We'll do a little fun with that. Saturday morning, as always, we will be here with our Brunch with Tots. You can gather around. We'll do Brunch with Tots. Sorry, before you even get there, either tomorrow or Friday, I'm going to post my top 10 traditional Survivor Series matches of all time. So if you want to gather yourself, if you want to get together with some friends this weekend and watch, you know, just load up on Survivor Series history, I'll set you up. I'll give you that top 10 traditional Survivor Series matches. It's good stuff. Then we will do a Brunch with Tots Saturday morning. Gather around, get some pancakes, get some eggs if you're an egg fan. If you're vegan, maybe get some vegan sausage, huh? Join me. We'll watch, we'll review NXT Takeover. It'll be a quick brunch. Just go through the 4 matches. We're good to go. Won't be as quick, but on Sunday morning, Brunch with Tots, going over Survivor Series 2018. We'll also have reviews of both NXT Takeover Wargames at some point when I finish the show. Won't be as quick as usual. And then we'll have a Survivor Series podcast as well, looking back at Survivor Series 2018. All that, so much more. Your way to tune in, your way to see everything and to have it, boom, right on your phone. Hit the subscribe button. Maybe I'll add a little subscribe feature right here. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash that bell so you're notified. No matter what you're doing, whether you're at work, whether you're hanging with your loved ones at home, your phone will go off and boom, Watchalong Wrestling Podcast. We're there. Tommy on the spot. He's getting you ready for all things WWE, the world of pro wrestling. And if that's not enough, if all of that's not enough, you can follow me on Twitter at WatchWrestlePod. Would love chatting with you guys on Twitter. We're almost at like 1,800 followers. That's freaking fantastic. Shout out to all of you guys for really helping out on there and communicating with me. I love chatting with everybody. If you spread the word about what we're doing here, that's awesome. Thank you guys very much for doing that. If not, and you see me kind of promote my thing and go, oh, but you still are following me on Twitter, I appreciate it. Thank you again for that. And you can also follow me personally at Tommy on the Spot, depending upon what the results of the Cy Young Award were, and I don't know what they were yet. You'll either hear me boasting about how great it is that Max Scherzer is a 3-time Cy Young champ, or pretty, down in the dumps that Jacob deGrom only had a handful of wins more than me is your Cy Young winner. But we'll see. We'll see how that went. No spoilers. No spoilers. Let me find that out on my own. You can follow me at Tommy on the Spot. So at Watch Wrestle Pod for all things professional wrestling. I am the guy behind that. I do have someone help me out with the social media aspect of that. But all the tweets are me, all out the world of pro wrestling. And then you can also hit me up on the Twitter at Tommy on the Spot if you just want the personal shit. So till next time, everybody, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did this. This was cool. Great way to end a Wednesday evening. If you watch wrestling all night, you watch your NXT UK, you watched NXT, you watched 205 Live, hopefully you ended your night right here on the Watchalong Wrestling Podcast. We'll be back with so much more, and who knows what else on the Watchalong Wrestling Podcast YouTube. Your way to find out is to hit the subscribe button and to leave a like or comment. Until next time, everybody, this has been Tommy on the Spot, and it's been a hell of a nice time hanging out with you. Let's go.